Hi, Lando. Hey, did you go to Starbucks earlier? Yeah, why, yes, I did. How come you didn't bring me back anything? I didn't know you wanted something, Lando. I always want something. Well, Lando, unfortunately, I ordered an iced coffee. You mean an iced coffee? Yes, I ordered an iced coffee, and what they gave me resembles, to my taste buds, my bad taste buds, resembles just a cup full of ice with syrup in it. It doesn't seem to be, it seems to be false advertising. It seems to be that they're saving money on coffee. I will get to the bottom of this. Perhaps the Joker is behind this. Why didn't you get me anything? Lando, first of all, I didn't know you were here. Secondly, I don't know what you want. I like a PSL. It is PSL season. It really is. I would get you a BSL. What's a BSL? It's a Batman spiced latte. It's favored by most of our Bat fans and friends. Hold on. Everything froze. Everything's frozen. Like your iced coffee. Yes, just like my ice, cup full of ice. Hi, Ange. I've got a cup full of ice with syrup in it. It's not quite an iced coffee. There is a faint taste, a splash of coffee in my iced coffee. Yeah! Why don't you get me an iced coffee? I thought you said you liked a PSL. You son of a... Everything's frozen. Oh my god. Good golly. Oh my god. These guys... it's frozen. Everything's... Hi, Edge. Edge. What's going on? Hello. Okay. One of these days, I'm going to show up on the screen. You know what? I don't want to be on the screen. I don't even want to be here. Edge, a word to the wise. Don't stick around. It doesn't get better than this. I have watched every single episode of Aristotle Full Throttle as the Watcher, and I have not seen anything of interest. I agree with the Watcher. Hi. Hi, Edge.
Say, baby, I can destroy everything. But I'm not. What? But I can. Baby. Shut up and give us your money.
Hello. YouTube is doing a thing. It's okay. Hop over to Twitch. It's free for all Friday. We're just gonna talk. I saw you shared Giancarlo today. There you go. I got this iced coffee. It's gross though. I don't like it. It just tastes like sugar water. Like what the hell are people? This is a $5 sugar water. I was like, can I have an iced coffee with oat milk? And then they said, we'll give you a cup of ice and pour sugar in there. This is garbage. This is pure, straight garbage. Starbucks. But they spelled my name right, so there you go. Is it choppy? It says I'm at full kbps. Maybe it's my microphone. Is my microphone choppy? Chop. How's that? Is it choppy like waters? Maybe that's why people don't watch it. Like, I can't take the feed. It's just, I wrestle with the feed. My brother's like that. My brother will only tell me what he's irritated by. You got an iced chai latte this morning. I mean, sometimes they get it right. But I forgot. See, I forgot to ask for light ice. And I forgot to ask for no syrup. Because I was going to come home, and if it needed sweetener, I was going to put sugar in it. But what happened was, they just poured a bunch of syrup in it and ice, and then that's all I got. Chippendale. When there's a problem, they'll solve it. It says, so "Can you Chippendales? Can Raccoon Raiders solve my iced coffee problem?" I figured I'd pour more actual coffee in here to cut it, right? To cut the sweetness, but then I'm still drinking the same amount of sugar. I did the mathematics. I plotted it out on a graph. I used my graphing calculator. I used my TI-85, and I found out that if I just add coffee to this, I'm just still drinking the same amount of sugar in the end. I'm feeling lightheaded. I haven't had sugar in weeks. And now, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. If I pass out on the air, it'll be a first. Alert the media. Alert the media. Anyway, what's trending? Adele's got a new song out. We could listen to her new song. I could critique that song. I could talk about that song, what I think about that song. Adele's great. She's incredible. She writes her songs with her producer, and her albums are all named after her age at the time. Adele's, I imagine it's going to be like, "I'm so sad. Something happened to me. Whoa, 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 I'm sad." That's my guess. Just like my guess for Cannibal Corpse will be see? What are you guys doing today? What do you guys got going on for the weekend? What do you guys got going on for today? I did some cleaning this week. I cleaned my kitchen, and that's as far as I got. I got as far as the kitchen, and now it's messy again. So, I figure I'll get ahead of it by staying behind it. You know what I mean? Don't clean. If you don't clean, then you've already beaten the dirt. You said, it's dirty. I beat you, clean. I already beat you to the dirt. See? Clean, you can't defeat me. I've already defeated you. It's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Today's show is dedicated to Ange.
I can destroy everything, but I'm not. What? But I
Oh my God! It's Ange's birthday. We're gonna shoot cannons off. It's Ange's birthday.
What?
Oh my goodness. There it is. Happy birthday to Ange. First of all, let's see. Cancel. Save. What do you got to do for your birthday? What's going on your birthday? It's Friday. You can. Where do you got? You got to go on a roller coaster? Are you gonna go to the movies?
Hello there.
I can destroy everything, but I'm not. But I can.
Is Ange gonna destroy everything? Please don't. Please wait until your next birthday. We'll see how this year shakes out. Is this a better birthday than last year? Was you watching on your birthday last year?
That is so fat.
Oh, that's cool.
It's your birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll tell you. What are you gonna watch? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna eat? What's your favorite cake? What's your cake flavor? Do you like lemon? Do you like lemon frosting? That sounds good. Now I'm craving sugar because I just drank a bunch of sugar. I'll pour this on your cake. You could probably bake a cake with what? You could make a coffee cake with this. Just mix this with flour, stick it in the oven, put some eggs on it. Coffee cake. Apparently being taken to the movies tonight. Oh, you gonna go see Halloween? You're gonna see Halloween 15 on Friday the 15th? Hello.
Like I
Hey,
should
Ange.
be jumping, taking way too long to send.
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute delay. You gonna go see Halloween?
Initially we were. I want to see No Time to Die, but it looks like we're gonna go see Venom.
Oh, there's a lot of movies out. I haven't seen any movies lately. Which one do you want to see the most?
No Time to Die. I'm a big James Bond fan.
Me too, James Bond. Which one? How many is this? 25 movies?
Yep.
That's pretty
Yep.
cool. How many did
I
Daniel
had
Craig?
the box set for my 33rd birthday. I got the box set.
Okay, that's cool. So you got all of the you've even got the George Lazenby one. Is that right?
All the way up to Spectre.
I've got a question. Does that include Never Say Never Again?
Yes,
Ah, interesting.
it does. It even had like a little side note, like, yeah, it includes the 2 Sean Connery ones that weren't supposed to happen. Like, oh, okay.
There were 2 Sean Connery ones that weren't supposed to happen. Yeah, they went back and forth.
I think it did.
Yeah, I remember they went back and forth with Roger Moore, and Sean Connery with the James Bonds, and like the 2 movies came out in the same year. I think it's kind of crazy.
I wasn't around. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Me neither. I have no recollection at all. That's cool. Who's your favorite James Bond?
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. Is that the correct answer?
That
And
is
then
so
Daniel Craig.
fat.
And then Daniel Craig's pretty good. He's like actually, I can see that he looks like he knows Krav Maga, but also can like pretend to be rich and like a rich what do they call those, like aristocrat at the same time, which is what he's always trying to pretend to be. you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I was watching. His real name is James Bond, right? That's his real name. Now, how come nobody like Googles him? They're like, James Bond, who is this James Bond character? And then find out
And
that
why
he's a
does
spy.
he give out his name to his villains? Exactly. Why
Yes.
not use a different name? I never thought about that. I think it just ruined my childhood.
Sorry, maybe. Well, the Daniel Craig movies are all sequels, right? They're all in the same.
Yeah, they're connected.
They're all connected, so that's interesting. Are they gonna? Do you think they're gonna reboot it for the next James Bond, or are they gonna continue it on the story?
I have no idea. And
'Cause I
I'm
know
like
this-
the minority when, like, a lot of people want the next James Bond to be a woman, and I'm like the only woman who's like, nah, no, don't do that.
They could be what's her name? James King, the model, who is a lady with the name James. She could
That's
be.
what that's the arguments was given to me. Maybe I don't know, traditions. Like there's certain things that James Bond unfortunately can do that a woman would, be chastised for doing, I guess. I don't know.
Like what? Let's get it. Let's talk about it. Like a martini,
Like
shaken not
Okay.
stirred. That seems like a martini. So he's very. Listen, stereotypically, gender roles. Is a martini
Yeah.
a masculine or a feminine style
I think it would
drink?
be a feminine drink because it does taste pretty.
See
But
that?
I guess it becomes more feminine when you start adding like fruit. flavors to it.
I have no qualms about like getting a feminine drink because the ones that look the most flavorful are the ones that have like fruit, and then they usually give me one with like a little umbrella and a flower in it, and then I go,
and then they'll mess you up quicker because the fruit is like masking the alcohol flavor. So you're like, I'll be fine. I'll just have 3 more of these.
And you just before you know it. But it's funny because I don't really know much about the like mixed drinks or anything. So like when I like order one, I just order the one that I think looks tasty, and then it comes with like, you know, like stereotypical gender, like female gender, like it'll be pink with a flower.
I think that's all phasing out though. I mean, I don't drink, but I think that's all phasing out.
Yeah. I think they're all gender neutral now. All the drinks. Yeah. But yeah, martinis are pretty... I don't understand how he could keep drinking martinis and then fight a guy. Seems like he would pass out.
From high blood pressure alone.
Yeah. Remember that scene in Casino Royale? When he had to jumpstart his heart? That was cool.
Yeah.
See, but I thought, like, at that time, he's like... I thought that Mads Mikkelsen was a great villain. He was great.
He was a great anything.
He's a great Bond villain. His eye was bleeding.
He's great in everything.
Yeah, he's pretty great. I'm looking forward to seeing No Time to Die because I want to see what disfigurement they give Rami Malek. Because every single Bond villain
is all messed up. You didn't see it?
I think I saw a clip of it. Yeah, it's like burned or something. But
it looks like it. We're gonna say burns. We don't know yet.
I think it's interesting that all of his villains have some kind of like, you know, it's always got to be some kind of disfigurement. So, and then they're jealous of James Bond or something, and they try to kill him. I liked Javier Bardem. He was good. That scene.
I like Skyfall. I was also the minority in that. People were saying Skyfall was terrible. I'm like, where? Skyfall was great.
Skyfall was incredible. Skyfall is such a great... That whole last 20 minutes where it's just outside on burning fire fighting, that was crazy. Such a cool scene.
The sequence was enough.
Yeah, which one was the opening sequence where they're driving on the rooftops?
Yeah, when he would like peeled open that train and jumped off the excavator into the moving train and
and they got shot
and kept walking.
Yes, that was awesome. And he, remember when Pierce Brosnan went underwater with the speedboat and then adjusted his tie?
And that's why he's not in my top favorites, because his James Bond didn't understand physics, and as an adult watching them, like, wait a minute.
Time out. You can't parasurf? That's not a thing you can do.
Why didn't the guy with the diamonds in his face just pick the diamonds out?
Oh yeah, he could cash them in.
Just pick them out. Why are you trying to change your DNA with diamonds in your face?
Well, yeah, but I liked Javier Bardem when he was playing it. What the heck? Oh, that's my drum. When Javier Bardem played that character, because first of all, he had to give like a 5-minute monologue. It was like a 5-minute monologue when he slowly, and he killed it. It was so good. It's like that scene. It's got to be like 5 minutes long, where James Bond is tied to the chair and Javier Bardem walks into the room and gives the monologue about the rats eating each other.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, dang, that's not easy. That's why you hire the professionals, because they got to do it all.
When, like, English is your second language.
Yes, I was always impressed by that, especially in No Country for Old Men, which I rewatched recently.
I was just about to say that. That was my introduction to him. I'm like, this guy is trying to sound Southern. He's clearly not, but I appreciate him because his face is scary.
He's got a very scary face. He's also like, what's the most you ever lost on the coin toss? So dark.
It was so perfect.
I watched that scene 100,000 times. I watched that scene so many times that I was like, man, this guy, give him the Oscar. Didn't he win that supporting actor or no? He might have got
I don't
nominated.
think so. He's brown, so I don't think so.
Yeah. Nobody won any. What was it? Golden Globes this year or Oscars? Even though it was like the most nominated.
Nobody of color, anyway.
Yeah, nobody won them. They just said, we've got all these black and brown people nominated, but we're not giving them away this year. So sorry. No, they said it was a
Try
record.
again next year.
Even though you're the only ones participating.
Right.
They said they said there were more people nominated in the acting categories of color, more people of color nominated than any other year, yet none of them won. Which is a statistically difficult. That is a very difficult statistic.
Unless it was purposely done.
Right. Unless there's a bias in the system, which is kind of, but we all know that there's a bias. We all know. Yeah. Why are we trying to pretend? I think it's.
No tiptoeing, no sugarcoating. We know.
Yeah. But I want to watch that Western. The one with
on Netflix. The Harder They Fall.
Harder They Fall. That came out last week?
It's coming out in November, I think. Like November 17th.
All right. I gotta make a list right now because I have been so far behind. I do want to watch Halloween.
I love Westerns.
Yeah. Westerns, there's some really good. I remember when I was a kid, they had all the Clint Eastwood Westerns on this entire week. They had the trilogy. The Man with No Name. Was that a trilogy or 5 movies? I think it might be.
My brain is saying trilogy, but it's often wrong.
But that's okay. We'll just say it's a quadrilogy. A nonology.
It's more than 2 movies.
Exactly. And I watched all of those, which was good because it was before I saw Back to the Future 3. And there's a very interesting device in Back to the Future 3 that was like, oh, I seen that in a movie with Clint Eastwood, and that's why he did it. So that's actually interesting. Do you know what scene I'm talking about? Back to the Future 3?
I've only seen it once all the way through.
Oh, well, you remember, I think it was, I don't know if it's the outlaw Josie Wales or...
Okay.
Which is the one... Now, this is a spoiler alert. Which is the one where Clint Eastwood...
A 30-year-old movie by this point, though.
Yeah, well, he got shot in the movie. And he falls on the ground, right? And the bad guy comes over to him. And then he gets back up. And he shoots the bad guy, and the guy's like dying, I think. And then he lifts up his poncho, and underneath the poncho, he's got like this big sheet of metal that he put in front of his chest. So that was like a nice little twist and surprise. I remember seeing that as a kid, going, dang.
Never mind the butterfly effect.
The butterfly effect with Ashton Kutcher?
You know what I'm saying? Like, he went back and put the metal sheet in. I'm like, well, never mind the butterfly effect. We'll just change it around this time.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, in Back to the Future 3, Marty McFly does that when Buford Tannen shoots him. And I was like, I seen that in a movie. That's why, because his name is already Clint Eastwood. He, like, goes back in time and they ask him what his name is. And he's like, it's Clint Eastwood. And the whole movie, his name is Clint.
Name?
In Back to the Future 3, Marty McFly says his name is Clint Eastwood. So the whole movie, everybody's like, Mr. Eastwood. That's pretty great.
And now I'm wondering if that's like the actual Clint Eastwood's real name, because there's a lot of black people finding out that Jerry Seinfeld's real name is Jerome, and that's causing a rift. Like, where were you people?
Jerome? Like Jerry is a nickname for Jerome. What's the controversy?
They thought it was Gerald.
Gerald.
But he's Jewish, so, and Jerome is like a
more traditional
name. So yeah. So I'm like, why would it be Gerald? Okay.
He's from Long Island. We're from similar area. He's but you know, Long Island is known for it's very multicultural in the sense that it's just Catholic and Jewish. If you're from Long Island, you're either Catholic or Jewish. Super multicultural.
Woman's you're Catholic.
From North, yeah. But, you know, I don't know. I didn't know that was a controversy. His name is...
It's not as a
Do you think he's
controversy. Brown people are just finding it interesting that he has a brown sounding name when it's traditionally, you know, Hebrew. I'm like, what? How are you just finding this out? Yeah.
Interesting. All right. That's cool. Do you think he's the greatest living comic or Chappelle?
No. Dave Chappelle.
Should we talk about that special?
A
lot of people are angry about
it's
it.
Fine. I'm not.
The only thing I don't understand fundamentally is why they're coming after a guy who's trying to make people laugh. Like, if there was a politician...
What be outraged about?
If there was a politician trying to create policies, if there was someone making, just like public statements, if there was an activist, I don't think Dave Chappelle is an activist. I think he's just defending... I don't even think he's defending anything. I think he's just ultimately telling stories from his life and making people
He's
laugh.
He's a stand-up philosopher, like I say.
Yeah. I don't know why people are gonna get so mad at him. It's just weird. It's weird to me that people are gonna get mad at a comedian.
For something to be outraged at, and this is the thing, I guess.
Yeah. You know, because like people get mad at Joe Rogan, and I'm just like, he's just... That's a different story, because Joe Rogan's kind of dopey, and he's giving out bad information to lots of people who are listening to him every day for 3 hours a day. But Dave Chappelle puts together 1 hour of jokes, and people get
occasionally
outraged. Yeah.
And he's even said sorry and explained his side that he grew and changed and understood. So now here's me coming from that growth and that place of understanding now, and people are like, nope, not good enough.
That's another thing that kind of makes me perplexed, because I even see on Twitter, I was reading Twitter, people going, what were the things he said that were upsetting? Could someone tell me what he said that was outrage? Because I'm not going to watch the special. And I'm like, if you don't watch the special in the context, if you don't see the context,
you're just going to be outraged by that sentence instead of getting the whole paragraph, basically.
Yeah, if you were to like be like, you know, a lot of people say that Hitler was great, but I freaking hate his guts, and I think he was a terrible human. And then you just heard me say, a lot of people say Hitler was great, and that's the quote. You know, like, you don't have the rest of the context.
I just find that Aristotle guy.
Yeah, exactly. Just a clip after clip. I think Hitler's great. It's like, that's not what I said. You got to listen to the whole you know, Hitler was a great speaker. Apparently, that's... this is a Norm Macdonald joke, actually. But I was watching Norm Macdonald, and he's like, hey, you ever see like people talk about Hitler being such a great speaker? You ever watch those videos? He wasn't great at all. He's like just screaming.
He really wasn't, especially when you translate what he's saying.
But yeah, it's like he's just up there screaming, and his voice was annoying. And people
screaming about nothing.
Yeah, he seemed like a maniac. I mean, he was a maniac. He was a certifiable maniac, and he looked like it too. But apparently, people were all caught up in the frenzy of his insanity. But
ruin mustaches for everyone.
He really did ruin that mustache. Michael Jordan tried to bring it back.
I would say it's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan tried, and
imagine Michael Jordan showed up the day of that commercial shoot with that mustache, and nobody telling him like, "Hey, maybe make it a little wider or shave it off." And like,
excuse me, your royal airness, but
yeah,
this issue on your face.
Yeah, we don't want to invoke the Holocaust during this Nike commercial. Whatever.
Or Wheaties.
Or whatever it is, yeah. Whatever $100 million deal he has with whatever corporation. Man, oh man. Makes me want to rethink I should have just thrown things through hoops as a kid. Got good at that. But I gotta say that the Dave Chappelle special.
My dad tried that with my brother, and Will just
gave up.
I mean, he's good at basketball. It's just that his feet grew faster than his body, so it was a little awkward.
He kept tripping.
No, Not really. Just it wasn't fast as he should have been.
Oh yeah, you gotta be fast. You gotta be agile. You gotta be strong. You have to do more than sit in a chair, and that seems hard to me, mostly.
Now Will's great. I mean, he's great at basketball. Still not as good as my dad, because my dad just embarrassed him like a few years ago.
Oh really? So he's still not able to beat your dad?
No.
Oh.
My dad dunked on him like 5 years ago, and we never saw Will pick up a basketball again. And my dad was like 57 at the time, I think. Dang,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Will, you gotta brush up on your skills. That's crazy. I think with the Chappelle thing, I think I just find it strange that people are really trying hard to condemn him for a few lines in a 1 hour special, where I'm like, if you don't agree with him, you could just not agree with him. Like, there's a lot of comedians I watch that part of their show I just don't find funny, or I don't agree with the sentiment, and then like the next part I do. The next part I find funny. So it's just weird to me that comedians will be held to a weird standard like that.
Like they're, news giving informational sources when it's just a person talking about their own experiences. You can't get mad at somebody talking about their own experiences because you haven't experienced them. You weren't part of their environment, I guess.
And that story he told about his friend who died, I was like, dang, that was powerful. That was a crazy powerful story.
And people are still giving them poop.
That's weird. That's just weird. They need to I don't know.
I saw someone say he can't use his friend like that because that's like white people saying something racist and be like, it's okay, I have a black friend. I'm like, no, that's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Really not. It's not the same thing because
because he didn't say that. He took us on the journey, the story. Did someone knock on my door?
Right.
I might have heard something. I'm just gonna keep talking. I got these earplugs in, so they'll just leave whatever they need to leave at the door. That sounds like the Amazon man's here, or person. But exactly. If he said that, that's one thing. But he said, let me explain to you my journey and my process and what happened and how I experienced this whole situation. And to me, that's way more detailed.
and that's when you forgive him for what he did, because he even said that it was coming from a place of ignorance, and now he gets it. And let me explain how I get it.
Yeah, but people aren't allowed to grow anymore. They have to agree with the people. Yeah, they just have to straight up agree with the less controversial, or whatever, the one true opinion, as they say, which is, I don't know. I'm just really
how the world works.
Yeah, I'm just really confused at how things are going on. But that's why I like Star Wars Episode 8, because a lot of people hate it and a lot of people like it.
Okay, which one was that one?
The Last Jedi. The one with there's so many people on the internet that are like, I hate it. And
it wasn't bad. It was alright.
Yeah, it had some really cool things in it. But that's just
the fandom menace, as they're called.
The fandom menace. That's a good one.
Star Wars fans are the most toxic, so other people gave them the name the fandom menace.
Oh man, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Or did you watch the teaser for the new Batman? The Batman?
No, I didn't even know it was out.
Well, the new trailer comes out tomorrow, but there's a new audio clip of the Batman. Listen.
I'm upset. Usually Will's on top of these things and send them to me. He did not send them to me.
What's going on, Will? Now I'm dunking on you. Hold on.
Right.
The Batman. Hold on. Let me find this clip. Robert Pattinson. He's got his new sound, his new voice.
Well, I'm actually excited as Batman.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
that kid is coming from.
It's a warning. It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
So he's like, he's the gray area Batman. He's like ready
I've been
to take people
hearing
down.
that, and I never knew where that came from. Okay.
It's not just a signal, it's a warning?
I didn't know what they were talking about. Like, that sounds like something Batman would say. Now I'm in the loop.
It's not just a bat signal, it's a bat warning. That sounds like something Batman would say.
Right.
I think I'm excited. I think he will be a good Batman. I wonder how many movies they're gonna make him be Batman in. I wonder.
That's how many he can tolerate, because he doesn't seem like he likes to repeat himself very much.
There's only one person who's played Batman. Oh, might be Ben Affleck playing him the most in the most movies.
So far, yeah. If he's in the Flash movie like they're saying he is, then yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy because nobody likes to stay Batman. Seems like they do Batman 2 or 3 times and then they out.
From what I understand, it's either the costume's way too uncomfortable or something happens with WB.
It's just weird. Hey, K Griff. Intro time. Who's been spoiling everything? Kalee!
And I killed Sparky too.
It's Ange's birthday today, Clean. Welcome. We're just talking about the new The Batman, Robert Pattinson. Ooh, what's it going to be like? I heard it's going to be over 3 hours or something, close to 3 hours, the movie. It's like
20
2 hours.
years of Baptist church has prepared me for 3-hour movies.
It sure has. Well, isn't Baptist church like 5 hours long?
All day.
All day, dang.
It's all day.
I remember. Yeah, and there's no windows in there, right? It's just all like, are there windows or no?
Like stadium.
Oh wow.
In the 90s, it was like a mini stadium. Now, I don't go to church anymore.
I would go to the Hollywood Bowl on Easter for the church ceremony because it was fun. That was always fun. AGT Extreme All USA virtual voting. What? I'm looking at my casting calls on here. Oh boy, I'm gonna be on my friend's show tonight. I'm gonna be on Bad Movies Live at 6:00 tonight.
Wait.
So check it out.
I just remember something. My mom told me to tell you, hey, tell Aristotle what's going on with UPS and my packages.
Oh yeah.
Why are they always so late?
Oh, let me go talk to the guy because I was, you might recognize me from the UPS commercial. So obviously,
She woke me up out my sleep. Is that your friend? Is that your friend? Ask him about my packages. Mama.
They give you a direct connection to the headquarters once you've been involved with anything UPS. Let me just dial it up. I'll make sure that your package comes in on time. I'll put in a couple calls. See what I can do.
I'll tell
just
you.
be like, hey,
thank you. I appreciate the thought.
You're welcome. I'll be like, hey, can I do anything? No, okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah, the UPS commercials. Those are pretty. People are texting me now about those, which is fun. Because that was
They're
like.
starting to be everywhere now, more than a Redfin.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's good though. That's good.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm like, whew, man, oh man, it was a rough year last year. And this year seems to be shaking out a little bit better. Hey, Kalee.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi, Kalee.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yay. Happy birthday. Aunt says she's going to go see a movie tonight.
Venom.
Oh, what movie?
Venom. Could there be
Venom
Carnage?
Ah,
Now that looks. I don't know what I heard about it, but I heard it is what it is, and it's fun time.
I heard it was more of a romantic comedy, and I'm all for that.
Interesting.
That reminds me of that Black Widow sketch that they did on SNL where, like, she finally got her own movie, but it was a rom-com.
I haven't seen that, but that's funny. Was that from last week, or is that?
No,
that was
a year ago.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a 2 or 3 year. Yeah, it was before we knew that she was with the Jost.
Oh, so she actually was on the show, so it wasn't a cast member playing Scarlett.
Yeah, she was
Johansson.
No, she's a 5-timer, I think.
Wow. 4-timer?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, she's
my
going
God.
to be a 5-timer.
Are we that alike that we're this big of SNL nerds?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I do remember the first 5-timer sketch. I think Tom Hanks was hosting, and then and then Conan O'Brien was in that sketch. He was the guy handed out the jacket to the 5-timer club jacket.
Oh, right. Because I have a book that actually has the transcript of that sketch.
Conan might have, yeah, and everybody who was like 5 times, was like Steve Martin and Martin Short, and it was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm excited for you to see that movie. You got to let us know how it is. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Because
I will give you my briefing when I come back from.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I think my first time back is going to be to see the Eternals.
When is that coming out? I don't
November
even know.
5th, I want to say.
November 5th. That's in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, what is that about? Because every trailer I watch, I'm like, okay, what is this about? Burn Notice. What is it? Speaking of SNL sketches.
The guys who were the invisible hands or like pulled the puppet strings for the Marvel Universe.
Now, my question about the Marvel Universe, now we're getting so meta with the Marvel Universe. They're like, he's the one that controlled the universe, but this is the guy who controls the guy who controls the universe, and this is the guy who watches the guy who controls the guy who controls the universe, and this is the guy who made the guy who watches the guy.
That actually seems like it's a plot point from the most recent trailer.
Oh, that they just keep going, like there's always a bigger fish kind of thing? There's always a bigger fish.
You got Jon Snow saying, well, I didn't just stop Thanos.
What about Robb Stark? Is he in there?
Yeah, he actually. I think Gemma Chan is in a love triangle with the two of them.
Interesting. I find it. Those I'm looking forward to seeing how they like turn that in, because they're really, with the Marvel Universe, trying to create a genre for everyone. There's going to be even a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants version, I'm sure, of the Marvel MCU group. They'll be like senior citizens will
I
love
have
it.
an eyeliner that I swear is like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, because it's my favorite eyeliner, and it never seems to get, and it's been discontinued, and it never seems to get smaller. So it's like, I call it like my Sisterhood of the Traveling Eyeliner. Although never do that, because you'll get pink eye. But
I know, like, I learned the bad way about eyeliner, because I used to wear eyeliner on stage, and I would just go like this. I'd run it on my eyes, and then I'd go like this. I'd smush my eyeballs. I'd just put it on the outside and then just smear and smush my eyeballs together to get that smoky look.
No, you got a tight line, and then lightly smear a brush along your lash line. Once upon a time, I was a makeup artist.
Well, there you go. That's a good skill actually to have, especially in this town. My cousin used to do like effects makeups on my face.
Oh, God, your skin must have loved that.
It was fun. We discovered that we have the same like face. Like part of our face is this, because he did a mold on himself and it fit perfectly on my face, and we were like,
huh? So it was like Face Off.
It was like Face Off. He took my face off. What'd you say, Ange?
Genetics.
Genetics, isn't that a thing? So it must have been, we both had our grandparents' face. Face Off, man. I saw that movie in the movies. And
Me too.
Me too.
it's got that scene where it's like the slow motion scene, and then there's playing like a soft song somewhere over the rainbow, and it's very John Woo. That's the part I remember. Yeah, that's the part I remember for real.
I remember when he was technically hitting on his daughter.
Which that's gross.
John Travolta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that in the beginning of the movie, they killed a kid, right? They killed a kid in that movie.
Well,
and I was like, they killed a kid? They broke a rule.
It was like in X-Men Apocalypse when, they killed Magneto's wife and child because the arrow shot through both of them.
Ah, yeah.
So he was trying to kill John Travolta, but the bullet went through his son as well.
Yeah, I just remember being shocked by that. I was like, wow, you can't kill a kid in movies.
Oh,
This is gonna be a
remember
trip.
Jason Man's how did this get made? He was just ranting. He's like, does anybody realize this movie starts with killing a child?
Not only do I look like that guy, or people say I look like him, but I also have the same opinion. Maybe I am him. I should scream more. I should definitely scream more. He screams a lot. I've listened to him on... Wait. Yeah, was that the one where it's like a live audience and it's hosted by...
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that one. Or maybe not that episode, but...
Also, he also gets very graphic about how Con Air arouses him.
Interesting.
When he did the Con Air.
Those movies came out the same year. They came out like the same summer, I think.
I want to know the technology behind Nicolas Cage's mullet in Con Air.
The technology behind it, I think it's not known to man. I think it's alien technology. I don't even know how they did it.
I love Con Air.
Dave Chappelle's in that. Speaking of Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never seen it?
I like it. I like it. I really like it.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Well, I mean, I love.
Spoiler.
I love Nicolas Cage for his weirdness. Like, he's just so unapologetically like off-putting that it has the opposite effect.
Yeah, you should watch this video. I'll share it after. It was like all of the things that Nicolas Cage has spent his money on in the last 25 years.
Know. Oh, it's crazy. Did you watch
dinosaur skulls?
When he hosted the history of curse words?
No. Part of it. Part of it. Yeah,
he hosted it. Yeah, on Netflix, and he was delightful.
Curse words. Yeah.
He was delightful.
According to my mom, he's actually that weird in person too.
Oh boy, your mom met
really?
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
I figured he's down in NOLA a lot, isn't he?
He used to live down here. I don't think he does anymore because his house looks like it belongs to a bunch of millennials now. I say that as I'm a millennial, but yeah, she met him like twice, and she's like, yeah, he's like that in person. We just let him be when he comes in the store.
Oh, all right. Whoa, you have any Elvis memorabilia? Okay.
I forgot he was married to Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's husbands-in-law with Michael Jackson.
Oh,
That's great.
Lord.
That's crazy.
I have a joke, but I'm not going to say it.
Michael Jackson? Was it that Thriller is way better than, or Bad is better than Thriller? controversial opinion?
Now, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to start a fight.
Impossible. I mean, you got riffs like what do you got?
Remember when he sold Paul McCartney's like catalog, and then to add insult to injury, he performed "Come Together"?
Oh yeah. I know that he did that. He didn't steal it. Paul McCartney made like a bad deal. Paul McCartney said,
"Yeah, but Paul said I was the one who told," and he said, "Well, maybe I'll buy your songs one day."
Nope. It's like it seemed like Paul McCartney didn't pay attention to what was being said, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." Then we come to find out.
I remember. I like how Paul McCartney is still such a brat about it.
Well, the story, I think, Paul, like, it is basically like there was a bidding war over the Beatles catalog, and to ensure the future or secure the future of the Beatles catalog, Michael offered to outbid whoever was bidding, and then he's like, "Yeah, well, okay, well, you'll hold on to them." Paul was like, "So you'll hold on to them, and then later on, I'll buy them back from you." And that was kind of the deal. And then after he sold it to Michael Jackson was like, "These are just mines." And then Paul was like, "Yeah, mine?" And then Paul was like, "Hey, remember that deal we had where you were going to sell it back to me?" And then he's just like, "Sorry, business is business."
Also,
Paul.
To piggyback off of that, apparently around that time, other artists were buying their friends as masters, so it was like a thing for a while.
Yeah.
And like I think I forgot. I think it was Little Kim that bought TLC's masters and gave them back. Something like that, and I think that's what he thought was gonna happen, and Mike was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
The way he tells the story, it was like when they were working together on, I don't know if it was The Girls Minor or Say, but he said he was like giving him financial advice and telling him that buying masters was a good investment, and he makes it seem like Michael Jackson like took advantage of him when he was just trying to be a nice guy and give him financial advice.
Oh, I don't quite know. We'll never quite know. We weren't in the room where it happened.
He said this on camera.
Well, the interesting thing is that it reminds me of is that Willie Nelson had all his estate auctioned off because he didn't pay his taxes for like 20 years or something. And then the IRS was like, but the whole musical community came together and then they bid on all of his estate and then just gave it back to him after they bid on it. So a lot of them did. I think some people
also owns a portion of Eminem's masters too.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, like from like the 90s to the mid 2000s. So the good and the bad Eminem, not the current Eminem.
Wow.
Yes.
The M&Ms, the candy.
Speaking of Willie Nelson, whoa, do you know who one of his really good friends and neighbors is? Wow.
Is it Owen Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. That was terrible. I'm still coming off of anesthesia, okay?
We figured out who you were talking about, so.
Yeah, thank you. You're being very kind to me on your birthday.
Apparently in Hawaii. She is. We know Edge. We know Edge, naturally kind.
I can destroy everything, but I'm not. But I can.
She's a beneficent figure. She could destroy everyone, but she's not.
I'm a Libra. I'm lazy.
Exactly. But apparently, Willie Nelson hangs out with McCartney and Carnage all the time in Hawaii. They all hang out on his, and they play dominoes. This is a thing I've heard.
Okay.
He hangs out.
Nice and regular.
Yeah. So that's cool. Now I've got to figure out what to do between now and 6 p.m. tonight when I'm on Bad Movies Live. I forget what movie we're watching, but
I was actually gonna ask you because you had said, but like again, I'm still coming off of the Twilight anesthesia, but
Twilight. Has it got Robert Pattinson in it? Twilight.
Oh, and hey, that factors in because you're talking about the Batman. But
It
no,
does.
that my surgery today, they had to put me under Twilight.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Good morning.
Well, that's. What's that?
What's that?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Today, yeah. Let me see what movie we're watching today. Let's see. Greg Benson on Bad Movies Live. Was that the final surgery? The last one?
As far as I know, this was to just. I'm a lot less like Tony Stark now. This was to take out the port that had been installed in my upper chest so it was easier to get my infusions and to draw blood for labs.
Gotcha.
So they just had to yank that out.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't look like I have a 20-sided dice under my clavicle anymore.
Oh, that's good. Although, how will you play Dungeons and Dragons from now on?
With an actual 20-sided dice.
With an actual.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, you know what? I should have asked to keep my port.
Keep the port.
It had been in there for almost 2 years, so I think it
Overstayed.
it had served it. Yeah, it had done its duty.
You don't want to be cybernetic anymore. Fair
No,
enough.
I sent it to a nice cyber farm upstate to live out the rest of its days. Yeah.
My email isn't loading, so I don't know what movie we're watching tonight. But it's going to be bad. I promise you it'll be a bad movie. And I suggested that he, in a future date, watch the movie Hideaway with Jeff Goldblum and Elisa Silverstone and is it Christine Lottie? It's a bad movie.
Yeah, you were talking about that the other day.
It's a bad movie. Man, oh man, I was what? It was so bad.
Didn't Alicia Silverstone make another terrible movie called The Babysitter?
She was in Fear. Was it Fear? And then
No,
she was
that was
in.
Reese Witherspoon.
Oh yeah. The one. What's the one where she was in? It was like the same movie with. The two movies I get confused are the one with Harry Connick as the bad guy, and then
Copycat.
Copycat.
I love that movie.
Was that Elisa Silverstone or was that?
No, that was Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter.
Oh man, I don't know any of these. I don't even know what's going on.
Because like my family was a huge Harry Connick Jr. Are all huge fans of Harry Connick Jr. So
I think he's on The Masked Singer, by the way.
You think he's a bad singer?
I think he's on The Masked Singer, by the way. I think he's the duck on The Masked Singer.
He's a bad singer?
No, on the show The Masked Singer.
Oh,
The Masked Singer.
Oh, you think he?
Yeah, there's no way you can hide. He can't New Orleans. And like, I know your accent. I know that shit.
You know, when I was in the junior Miss pageant in high school, I did it for scholarship money. Our physical fitness group routine was New Orleans theme, and we did it to Harry Connick Jr. singing "Come By Me."
Kumbaya?
Come by me. Come by me. Come talk to my baby.
The only song I think I can name of his is "It Had to Be You," which is a cover, though, right? It had to be you.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's the Harry. I had the When Harry Met Sally soundtrack on cassette when I was like 9 years old.
No, that was a good. He's a great musician. He's a really good musician.
Yeah, my mom's seen him like 3 times in concert, and the last time she saw him here, he talked about taking his daughter to Chuck E. Cheese in town, and I just thought, oh God.
Now I took my daughter to Chuck E. Cheese. He's got that folksy. Yeah, I'll work on it. I'll listen to a bunch of Harry Connick talking. He was also wasn't he?
Accent.
Was he in Silence of the Lambs or no? It was like Randy Travis and the other guy.
No.
Yeah, there was a.
No.
Yeah, let me see.
Are you taking a Panic Room?
Of who?
Are you taking a Panic Room with White Yoakum?
Nah, there's like 2. It's like cameos because what's his name? The director Jonathan Demme. He's like a big music fan, so he would always have these cameos from actual famous
and like a music fan? How unique.
Well, he's like a big like he puts these artists in his movies, like Rachel getting married. He had the person, the
TV on the radio, right?
Yeah, he had the singer for TV on the radio as like the guy, and all the musicians in the scenes when they're playing music are actually had to be playing live. So similar to Steve Zissou, the Life Aquatic, when Sue George was playing the guitar and singing everything in Portuguese. He played it live every take, so that while they're doing a dialogue and everything, he's actually performing live every single scene that he's in.
And that's like Game of Thrones had like members of Coldplay and members of Sigur Rós.
I saw this interview recently with Sigur Rós. Let's see, who's the guy that said "Wicked Game"? Saying Wicked Game.
Chris Isaac. He pulled up my cousin on stage once at a concert to like dance with her, but they had like no chemistry, so it just ended up being really awkward.
With Chris Isaac? What a wicked game that is. Yeah, this is Chris Isaac in Silence of the Lambs, by the way. He's in it for like a half a second.
Blink and you miss it.
Yeah. He says he has a line and everything. I'm always, when I was watching it, I remember to this day, I'm like, there goes Chris Isaac in the movie.
My 6th and 7th grade teacher looks exactly like Anthony Hopkins from Silence of the Lambs. And to the point where, like, they would, like, go to Chicago to go to Bulls games because it was only, like, 2 hours away. And he'd be at a gas station and stuff, and people would come up to him and be like, "Are you Anthony Hopkins?" And he would go, "Yeah, I'm Anthony Hopkins." And he would take pictures with them and stuff.
Oh, no.
That's crazy.
He was the ultimate prankster. But the thing is, like, I mean, he had, like, this Midwestern twang voice. I mean, he couldn't have sounded any different, but he did look like it.
You know who looks like Anthony Hopkins? Tina Fey's husband. It's kind of, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he looks like Andy Serkis.
I think he looks like Anthony Hopkins. Here, let me find a picture of him.
Like a mashed together version of both. I can see both.
He looks like a little.
And is always the peacemaker.
He looks like a mini Anthony Hopkins.
But I can legit see both, though. I really can see how y'all saying both, though.
Yeah,
and
he's in between.
I still think that there is. Speaking of people looking like other people, I still think that Timothée Chalamet resembles
Ichabod Crane.
Huh?
Ichabod Crane.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay. No, he can't keep playing Johnny Depp roles.
Well, no, the cartoon one from Disney.
No, he totally does.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I used to teach that to before I actually was a teacher. I would come in and help my mom teach that to her 5th graders. But there are enough similarities between him and Gene Wilder when Gene Wilder was like in college.
Interesting.
There's something about the eyes.
And his face and head, maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know what's interesting? They're gonna do the prequel for Willy Wonka, and he's gonna play a younger Willy Wonka, I guess. And I mean, that does sound fascinating, but it's also, how do you navigate that? How do you navigate?
Yeah,
you're like,
it's unnecessary.
You're like, I kind of like Willy Wonka being this crazy character where you don't know how he got all this craziness. And that's the cool part about it. That's the interesting part. It's like, you don't even know why he's got Oompa Loompas and all this whole candy factory.
Are they going to retcon the Oompa Loompa thing so it seems a little bit less like slavery?
Probably.
But,
What's that?
Obviously I'm a little, defensive of that whole thing because I was in it and I had to sing the songs. But
I
Olivia
want it
Colman
now.
I auditioned for Veruca, but the director wanted me to play Charlie. I guess I wasn't enough of an asshole.
It's yours, Charlie. I want a golden ticket.
Yep.
I went and saw that movie in the movie theaters like 2 days after Gene Wilder passed away. When watched it in the movies, they played special showings of it. And I remember watching that as a kid. My brother to this day is still impressed that it was such a interesting movie because he's hard to please with movies. And then I remember when we were kids, he said, I don't want to watch this dumb candy factory movie. And he just kept saying that. And then finally we watched it and it was just bizarre and fun and weird and hilarious and interesting and a good movie. And to this day, he's like, remember when I thought it was going to be bad and it was great? I'm like, yes, that often happens.
But it's weird that guy at the beginning looked and even sounded exactly like Gene Kelly, but he wasn't Gene Kelly.
Which guy at the beginning?
The candy shop.
Oh, the candy store guy?
Owner.
Yeah. Yeah. That's who I thought of too. So funny that he finds the golden ticket in the gutter, right? Is that where he found it? Oh, Batman. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up. It's time. Happy birthday, Ange.
Yes, happy birthday, Ange.
Thank you for joining us here on your birthday. I hope you enjoy Carnage. Let there be carnage. Let us know. Report back. We're going to throw to you for the review. And now here's Ange with the review. We'll say.
I actually just watched Tom Hardy as Bane last night, so let the games begin.
Let the games begin. Yeah. Baby Bainby hasn't been on the show in a while.
Yes, you've been excluding me from everything.
We'll need to bring back Baby Bane.
All right, guys. Have a good afternoon, evening, weekend, and it was good to talk to you guys.
You too. Stay healthy, stay safe, and join us tonight at Bad Movies Lab. We'll be making fun of a bad movie.
I'll try to do so. All right. All right. Bye, guys. Right. Happy birthday, Ange.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you, Ange, and thanks for spending your birthday with us here at Aristotle Full Throttle. And I hope that. What kind of cake do you want? That was the important question.
Oh, I'm a chocolate fiend.
You got chocolate, double chocolate with chocolate chips?
A blackout cake with mousse.
Oh, wait a second. What's a blackout cake?
It's a chocolate cake with mousse filling, covered in mousse, and then the mousse is covered in broken up cake pieces.
What? That's
So diabetes.
that's diabetes on a platter. I like it. That sounds delicious. Sounds like
The Whole Foods down here has it. I don't know if Whole Foods everywhere have it, but the Whole Foods I go to have it.
That sounds amazing. There's a cake that I was trying to get this cake a couple weeks ago at this downtown market, but it's not there anymore. But it's like broken up, like honeycomb or like I think it's called a honeycomb cake. It's got broken up honeycomb candy all over it. It just looks like this. It looks like a fragmented rock. It looks amazing. It's delicious too.
That sounds delicious. That sounds delicious. With some ice cream.
With some ice cream. Get it all. It's your birthday. Do it.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Cake. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and let us know. Bye now. Thank you guys for joining us. Everybody at home, have a wonderful day and have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you tonight on Bad Movies Live at Mediocre Films. Follow Mediocre Films. I'll see you then.